Yeah. That's another thing right now, Patreon.
That's why I built out Nerd Monthly, not through Patreon.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing I got to learn at some point to get that going. Because I know, like, so many people are like, online, they're talking like, yeah, you can bypass Patreon and all this stuff and go through direct website integration with payments and membership plans and stuff like that. I'm like, that sounds nice and smooth to get all that stuff into one place instead of having, multiple different accounts, but working on that.
Is this another bank account for your business alone that you have to funnel everything through?
Right.
Well, yeah, right. I have an LLC, so I have to keep track of everything very, 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 very detailed.
Yeah.
And, I don't get, taken to court for tax fraud.
Yeah.
So, bueno.
Yeah, that definitely is not a fun time, from what I've heard.
I don't think I mentioned this to you, either of you yet.
What?
But, yes. Maddie, my wife.
No, really?
My wife's name is Maddie. Matt.
You should know this. I'm just going to be stupid.
So she wants to start a business, and recently, because of that, we've been looking into what it takes to like do an LLC and stuff. And what came up with this idea for her to do that is she wants to sell like Japanese treats and stuff in Fargo. Like ramen, the marble sodas, and like pokey sticks and things like that. You get like the little corner of like Hot Topic that does that, but no like dedicated store. And she's like, I really want to do that. That would be really good. And there's a lot of weebs in Fargo. And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So if any of those weebs would actually go to like the Asian store, like the actual grocery store that is strictly Asian food and culture, they have it all right there.
The one on Main Ave?
So,
there's like two of them.
I can speak from California law. Is when you're doing food, that requires a lot more licensing behind it than just an LLC.
Yep.
Right?
Oh. So because then you're food and health.
Yeah, the first thing is LLC. Right? You want to file yourself as a business. Make sure you have that legalized. Then you need to look at state licenses for business. Because, I'm the app I'm developing, my co-founder's in Wisconsin, and so we're
it's our next door neighbor.
Yeah, so we're basing it out of Wisconsin because it's cheaper to pay taxes in Wisconsin than California.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pay California taxes.
Yeah, and I can do that because he's a 50% owner, so it's super nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's state licenses, and then there's the food regulations licenses. I know in California, I'm not sure how it is outside of California, but you can actually get your home kitchen licensed and FDA approved. Not
Really?
FDA.
I suppose if it's your side of business.
I forgot. It's a state regulation. I forgot what the actual acronym for it is, but somebody actually goes to your kitchen and looks and makes sure it's up to standards.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's the most expensive part.
Yeah, it's that inspector. The inspector cost is always the most expensive part.
Yeah, because filing for the LLC, if you want it to be fast, if you don't want to wait a month to get your paperwork back, then that's going to cost about $300 for your
which really isn't that expensive if you think about it.
I have two, and then I have a seller's license.
Okay.
So that's all I need in California.
Yep.
And I have to get a seller's license for Wisconsin now, which is super annoying. But got to get her done.
Well, of course.
Yeah. And so, there's a lot of small things that people don't realize go into it.
Yeah, learning about LLCs, just the LLC portion alone, I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff that I gotta learn. Both her and I are looking at this and it's like, this is gonna be a lot. And I'm like, and she's like, yeah, but I want to do it. I'm like, okay. But, my
recommendation monetarily is because you don't really need to, write down what your income is below $2,000 for a business. Because, then that's just a hobby, right? Once it hits that 2K mark, then LLC is what I'd recommend.
Okay.
That's why most people who win lottery get an LLC, claiming underneath that.
Yeah, you can get a food license without having an LLC, I believe.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I would look at that.
If those who hit the Powerball, for millions and millions of dollars, if you go to a financial advisor, they'll recommend you have an LLC and claim it underneath that rather than you yourself.
Interesting.
Yeah, because of the taxation. It's almost like 50%.
Yep.
And in California, it's really bad.
Yeah. So it's like if you ever hit the lottery, Matt, go create an LLC before you claim it.
I'll just put it under Nerd Monthly.
There we go.
Yeah, don't do that. Put it under this week.
Lifetime supply of boxes, man. Seems like a good deal to me.
Just buy the company from him
Yeah,
for a lot more money.
Yeah, and so Nerd Monthly is actually, we're kind of becoming a conglomerate now. We're actually starting a new brand under Nerd Monthly. It's a clothing brand called Fuelta.
Fuelta?
Fuelta.
Fuelta,
Sounds
like
dope, right?
Fuelta?
Fuelta.
Fu.
You were close, Matt.
Close.
Fu, Matt. Fu.
Which Matt are you talking about?
I'm Matthew, he's Matt, remember?
Yes.
Yeah. Matthew.
Well,
They'll probably get confused later on in the episode as well.
just clarifying for those who were listening earlier.
The
or
really
before.
white guy? That's Matthew.
I do got a bit of
Well,
a...
he is pretty white.
I got a trucker's
But I'm
tan.
like really white. I'm California white.
That is white.
That's Hidden Valley.
That's like albino white.
Hidden Valley
Yeah,
white.
Valley Ranch white.
Hidden Valley. Wow.
Spicy mayo white.
Oh,
Coming from the
man.
Silicon Valley, we have Hidden Valley white.
Right.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, no. You know why they call me Casper, the friendly salesperson?
Nope.
I can't wait to hear this.
Please explain.
Because I'm always transparent.
Nice.
But
That was
He would have worked with our dad joke off
Oh
earlier.
my god. Yeah. Yeah, we were just ripping jokes and it was perfect. But Fueta?
Fuelta.
Fuelta.
Fuelta. Oh, I'm so-
Fuelta. It's like Fuego. but Fuelta.
Fuelta. Got it.
It
Fuelta.
was already taken, sadly.
So how are both Fuelta and Nerd Monthly been going since? Well, Nerd Monthly's been going, you said, for 2 months, and Fuelta is coming up, like it's not launched yet?
Yeah, not launched yet.
Okay.
We just got our logo design done today. I'll be building out the website right after this podcast episode. And we hope to launch this weekend or early next week.
Nice.
I'm definitely excited to see what that's going to look like then.
It looks
Because
like
does did the Magic Apparel that came out a couple months ago from that one guy, that Post Malone?
That was
Oh,
months and
That was
months
months and
ago.
months
That was like
and months.
that was last year. I think.
That was last
like
year?
before Christmas or before Halloween that came out. No, it was before Christmas because it wasn't a Christmas theme.
Maybe.
Either way, it was yeah. That
Yeah.
California kid.
Yeah, that made like Magic Apparel clothing. Like, was that something that you saw with that, or is it just more of like the
we're
Magic
just
lifestyle?
we're just doing random apparel.
Okay.
Like we're just doing like normal shirts and stuff. It's just going to be part of Nerd Monthly because of the LLC.
Nice.
Okay.
So what you're saying is, like you said, you are designed to get in the box.
We are designing our own clothing, but it's not magic related. I mean, maybe
Aw.
we'll put a magic related section. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I guess I quickly designed a shirt for us three for our podcast, which has a typo on it,
2.
which makes it even better because the words are hard, which it says on the back.
They are.
But yeah, that was through
spelled
some Uber Tees or something like that. I think it was. But yeah, it'd be sweet to get more like magic apparel, like more streamlined magic, not like, hey, this is magic. It's more of a subtle kind of thing.
Like fantasy.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely agree. That'd be dope. And I'm also becoming a verified Amazon seller now, so I'll be able to start selling my stuff on Amazon.
Nice. Yeah, if you can get on Amazon, you can make some bank.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I've developed over 30 businesses. So before I went into software, I was kind of like I did content marketing, but I was more of a branding guy.
Okay.
When COVID hit, I was actually supposed to get hired as a PR manager for a city council campaign. So I used to be in politics. That was my life.
Oh my.
I was actually a city director for a presidential campaign.
Okay.
And so then, I met up with this person who was running for city council. She wanted to hire me as her PR manager. But COVID hit, so she didn't have the money to hire me. She ended up losing anyway, and I don't like losing when working on losing campaigns. Even though the presidential one I worked on, it was still, just the fact alone that I was able to be on that presidential campaign in charge of my city, that looks good on the resume.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I actually just got rejected from an interview because of my political affiliations that I've had.
Oh, shit.
That sounds like a reason most people get deselected for jury duty.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
well,
of political.
it's the opposite of what you think. I'm from California, but so anybody can guesstimate my political views
Yep.
as a California disabled dude. But yeah, so yeah, no, I got rejected from an interview because this dude was like super, super crazy. But yeah, and so I went from politics to sales. Great.
There isn't much difference.
Yeah, very transferable. Slightly, I go from scummy to slightly less scummy.
That's always a good thing, though. You're being...
Big lies, just little white lies.
Oh my God.
No, I don't lie at all. I'm
No,
always
it's just the stereotypical like salesman. It's
I
like,
think
hey, I'm
very
just going to do this little white lie just to get you to buy this product.
yeah. Just to clarify, I've never been scummy in any sort of way when it's come to politics or sales. I've always been very
Good.
honest.
Which is the right way to be doing it.
Yeah, and right. That's always what I say is right when you sell to somebody product or service that they want to use consistently. Building that relationship on truth is better because then you'll make more money off of that. Because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
longer lasting. Right, it's more than just about hitting quota.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I worked at I guess it'd be like I don't know what California has, but we have like Menards here or a Lowe's or Home Depot,
Yeah, a home improvement store.
like a hardware store basically that's home improvement for everything. Worked in that accessories or the kitchen apparel stuff, which like stoves, dishwashers, and all that fun stuff, and contracts. And people would come in and like, hey, I just want the cheapest things. Like, hey, well, this cheap thing is going to last you maybe a few years. If you were just to go up a few $100s, you can get something that lasts 4 times, if not 5 times longer.
Yep.
But people still want the cheap shit. It's like, okay, well, I'll see you in a few years.
Exactly. Yeah, like this mic I bought, right? It's like $130 mic. I could have bought like the $30 one,
Like
but
us.
I want something that's gonna last.
Hey. Our mics are not $30. I got $120 mics.
Just kidding. Just giving you shit, Matt.
It's good mics. It's good mics.
Yeah, I mean, right? I have my mic, I have my audio box here, and then it connects all to my computer. It's a simple setup, but it works just fine. I have good audio,
Yep, that's all that matters.
indubitably. Do you have any more questions for me, Matthew?
Yes. One last about Nerd Monthly, and then it's Magic. We're going to have to ask you some Magic questions. What has been the greatest challenge with Nerd Monthly so far, being a new business venture for you? Like, imagine there's like some hiccups that you probably had along the way. So what's like the greatest challenge?
People thinking that we're a scam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've had a few of those comments on our ads and Facebook page. And then what I've done for a couple of them, I've sent them free stuff.
That's a way to shut them up.
Yeah. And then the other ones I respond like with screenshots of our reviews that we have. I'll private message these people and have like a face-to-face with them. And be like, do I look like a scam to you? I'll show them to back into the amount of money I'm making. And I'll like hold up my booster boxes, be like, this is the shit I'm giving out, people. Right? And then they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, are you going to go delete your comment now? They're like, yeah.
Wow, way to floor people with that.
Right, it's about transparency and honesty. Right? If you comment on somebody who's being belligerent with belligerence, then that's going to create a toxic environment, and that's bad for business.
For sure. So we got some Magic questions here for you real quick.
Dang.
Because, Magic is like what kind of like started all this, clearly. What got you into Magic? Like when you first found out about Magic, you've been playing since you at least were 12, you said. So
I was 9 when I first started.
okay. And what set would that have been?
Zendikar.
The original.
OG Zendikar. Innistrad is the first set I really remember playing, though. Yeah,
And
I don't remember exactly what got me into it because it was so long ago, and I taught myself how to play.
that's
I
a
had
big
nobody
thing.
that taught me. I was probably like an ad or something I saw online, and then I was like, I'm a nerd. Even at 9 years old, I knew I was a nerd. I knew I was different, and I was like, this will be a cool community of people that are like me. Especially as a disabled person, it's been hard growing up to try to fit into anything. So Magic was like the first community that really embraced me as me.
I always find that the in-person Magic community is always super cool. Like our community that we got at J-Dub Sports Cars and Gaming, everybody was super cool when I first got there and stuff. And everyone's super inclusive, super nice. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to open up my own LGS sometime in the future. That's a goal of mine for sure.
Have you seen Cassius Marsh and his LGS that he opened up?
You mean the scalping he does?
Oh, is that what it is? He did. I haven't seen. I haven't seen like. I've seen the ads for his store and the videos that he does and like everything that he does there. But I guess I haven't like looked at the prices. I just thought it was like super cool that football player who plays Magic got on Command Zone now has an LGS. But
for me, it's just some bringing publicity to WotC is how I see it. I see it as a marketing maneuver, and then Cassius Marsh, he can make money just because he's an NFL player.
You're not wrong there.
You could put a booster pack of $400 and somebody would go buy it just to be in a store.
There's been a lot of proof of just having a name behind something like that, with like the Logan Pauls of the world that have been doing that with Pokemon. So names do carry stuff. Yeah,
and I mean, right? I'm not like super well known or anything, but like people know who I am when it comes to Magic, and it's kind of crazy to think about it. Like people know me as part of the community now. It's it's cool though, and nobody sees. I don't want to be seen as like famous or anything like that. All I want to be known for is the disabled dude that helps people in Magic. That is my ultimate goal.
And that is an ultimate goal that I think is very fair to try and obtain, and I think you can get there. I do. The just like your personality alone can. I get it. I think you're going to do it just from this alone.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. What is your favorite color of Magic?
Blue.
Yes.
Sorry, is the short person shaking their head?
Oh yeah. JB is shaking his head. You can hear the rocks rattling over the mic.
Yep.
What is your favorite color, JB?
Blue is terrible.
But you see, the biggest joke is that JB is like a closet blue player. He loves.
I am not. Stop it.
He loves
blue. Sucks.
He loves Manatithe. He is
only because I have to try to compete with you blue players.
His signature card, Slippery Boggle, is a blue card.
Shh.
So he plays it green.
I don't use blue to cast it, so you can just fuck right off, sir.
But yes.
Yeah, no, blue. Just because of Infect, it's always been blue. Blue and green. I don't play green by itself. I don't know why I can't play mono green, but blue green together is probably my favorite combination.
It has gotten souped up a lot in the past couple of years, so
I've been playing it since before then. So I'm an OG gangsta. No, I think Zendikar was like the first set that really made blue green like overpowered.
Zendikar has always been green overpowered.
Yeah.
Ever since I started playing.
It put its footnote in Land Matters and how Land Matters is very hard to interact with.
Because like I'm a Nea player by heart, so me and green and tokens are what I go for almost in all my decks, except like one or two.
It's true.
But that's because I have like, hey, I'm going to go to my color pie and play something else. But I still try to make him with Nea.
Yeah, so in EDH is the format. I have most of my decks are legacy, but I play EDH the most. It's kind of funny. I have like I'll one EDH deck at a time. I'll build like a new EDH deck like every few months. That's kind of how I do that. Like my first and everybody hated me was Urza, Lord High Artificer.
Yes.
I was reigning champion in the county for so long, and then moved to Slivers. Everybody hated that too. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Stoutarm, the strong guy. You can
Brian Stoutarm.
Yeah, the fling guy. Everybody hated that too. And then Pandemic hit, and now I'm back to Slivers.
So you were CDH before CDH was CDH.
Yeah, I mean, my first EDH deck was Fun Police. It was white blue.
Yes. Who was the Grand Argentine, the fifth? Augustine?
The fourth.
I'm trying to remember it was one of the gods. It was an enchantment.
Oh, Afera.
Yeah, it was Afera.
That that's a good one because you draw cards when you cast your second spell a turn.
I don't remember.
You draw a card from something.
You have your computer in front of you with Scryfall.
Could do that, but we have more questions.
Yeah, let's get her done.
Yeah. So, what is a pet card of yours, Matthew? A card that you try and like work in almost every deck of yours.
Like mine's Avacyn.
I I know I just usually put like the same artifacts in every deck, but
Well, you can't go staples like that. It has to be like a single card that you tried to fit in every single deck that you have that has that color.
that's a hard one. I don't know. I have so many.
We'll take a list. Top 5. Matthew's top 5 cards he always has to try and get into a deck.
My unlimited volcanic island,
Okay.
Yes.
just to flex.
Straight up
yep,
flex.
Yep. So, hey, my land costs more than your land. Come
Costs
on.
more, exactly.
My land costs more than your deck. That's what that is.
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle. Man, I've never seen one in person.
One of my 4 Mox Diamonds.
4 fucking
I just have one.
Well, get good. No, I'm kidding.
Mine's just a Gym 10.
Pew pew.
See, I may have created a hate-free group, but that doesn't mean I have to be the same outside of
Oh,
that.
no, you're fine. You're fine. I just got mine back from PSA, so it's been like almost a year since I sent it to PSA.
Holy shit.
Yeah, well, pandemic hit, and everyone said, hey, I have nothing else to do than go through my old cards and get them all graded. So they just got swamped.
I mean, I love my Sliver Queen with all my heart, because I opened her in a booster pack.
So you still got your pack fresh Sliver Queen?
Oh, she's very pack fresh. She's
Yes.
fucking beautiful. Oh, and then I got Morophon, who's my commander of my Sliver deck. I got him altered to look like Alien.
From
Nice.
Oh,
You got the
Dad.
foil altar. Nice.
that is
Somebody, I think it was a
beautiful.
person in France. They're getting this altered, so I didn't even have the card. They bought the card. It was like $100.
Yep.
Get the card plus it altered.
Well, it's like your islands and swamps that you have.
Yeah, I got the Hour of Devastation lands with the bolus horns, full art. There's a guy online that was selling them. He had he did a foiling thing to it to where you just had the mana symbol for the island, the mountain, and the swamp that were where you could see the art in the background, and the rest of the card was foil. And like you could see like the lines for the frames. It looked really good.
So
I'd have to-
it's basically the inverted version of your commander. So instead of having a foiled creature, you'd actually see your creature and everything else is foiled.
Sweet.
Yeah,
All right,
those
next
lands
question.
are pretty cool.
They are whale.
Right? That's what we call him. He's our resident whale.
Right, me.
Yes, you.
Okay.
It was me for a while, but then you took over.
I'll
And then now you have a new big dog in town.
I was on quarantine for
lessen all the
quite a few months,
the
making
duels.
some good money on unemployment. So
Right.
Well, so for my business, I buy like 3 boxes a week
okay,
minimum. Then for myself, I buy 1 or 2.
might as well.
I'm that guy that I don't know if you can see there. I got unopened boxes just because I don't want to open them yet.
I do not have any unopened boxes, but I once I have, once I'm, I make decent money now, but once I'm like really rolling in it, then I'm definitely gonna start collect like sealed stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, who is? Do you have a favorite planeswalker?
My favorite planeswalker, Karn.
Good choice. Very good choice.
Typical Tron player would say that.
Well, I don't play Tron, so you can.
I have a Tron deck that I'm making without the Tron pieces.
So it's not Tron.
Well, it's running the Tron lands. It's not running the typical Tron planeswalkers.
See, and
all that
I've
fun
got
stuff.
a really cool white Tron deck that I made
That one.
because
that one's
fuck green Tron.
I'm, pl-
Green Tron's gross.
I'm playing Red Tron Burn.
That's sounds like a loser deck. No, I'm kidding.
good. it's fine.
Until you get hit in the face with 12 damage from a shock.
And then I fog you.
Yep.
Ooh,
or
that's why-
I play Void Mirror. Because fuck you.
And then I play Shahrazad because I can play legal cards now. No, I'm kidding.
Matthew, have you been keeping up with any of the Modern Horizons 2 spoilers so far?
Yes, I pre-ordered a few boxes.
What so far of everything that you've seen? Like, what is the card that you're enjoy the most that you see and it's like, oh my god, I gotta have this card specifically?
So
Or like,
definitely the creature where you can cast a Black Lotus.
yeah, Garth One-Eyed.
Yeah, Garth One Eye.
Yeah, Garth Brooks.
No, I just find that really dope because I've very few people have touched a Black Lotus and I have. I don't own one, sadly. I'd love to, but my sister's ex-boyfriend he had an unlimited Black Lotus, and he let me touch it.
Oh my
It was
god!
one of the most beautiful moments.
Did you hear that they're not making a Black Lotus token for Garth?
Yes.
They're not making tokens for any of them.
Yes.
Yeah, for any of those things that you can make a copy of. How?
Because they can't print
This is
that
where
card.
my card comes in, and I can start making them now.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know there's going to be...
3D printed like Black Lotus, like in actual like petals on it. That'd be so cool.
I would be in on that.
Let me text my designer real quick.
Live ideas happening. Good news is this doesn't come out for a couple of days, so you're going to have such a far head start.
lit.
But yeah, I was a little like, I guess it makes sense that they couldn't make the tokens of it, but at the same time, it's like, oh, that's kind of sad. But it opens up the possibility for alter artists and stuff to be coming in and, doing their renditions.
So with that, I understand they can't use like the original print or make a token of it. Well, why couldn't they like make a emblem version of it?
Yeah,
I don't know. They never really explained why very well.
Because
Right.
they're not casting it for, or they are casting for the value, but it's the fact that it's like an emblem looking, so it's literally just the typical emblem from Planeswalker with, I guess it doesn't even have to have an art, or if you can just say, hey, make a random art for this one card, or someone, hey, make a new Black Lotus. If nothing else, put a jeweled Lotus heart on it. No one cares. Just put it on there and put the Black Lotus logo on it. It's not like you're selling the Black Lotus.
Mhm.
It's just make an emblem, so it's literally the typical gray background with text and then a little picture of it.
Well, what I want to know is if it's going to affect the Black Lotus pricing.
It won't. It won't because it's not a card that can be cast in your deck.
I know, but just because of the hype, because of having something else that creates a Black Lotus, I feel like that could increase the prices a lot faster than they currently are.
Right? Maybe some of those like really beat up Black Lotuses will start to get picked up off of eBay and stuff.
Like the ones that like a dog eats or something,
Yeah, and just so that way they have that for now modern or legacy decks that run Garth. And to that end, I think a deck that would love to have this card in it is the Bring to Light decks of modern fame at the moment.
So if anything, this is helping those who are selling it, not the buyers. It's just those who are selling it. They could charge more.
Yeah.
But then again, you still technically, I suppose you could play it through Garth, but it's, why are you going to spend that much money and then flex for 5 seconds before you tap and sack it?
You answered the question yourself there, Danny. Because
I do that all the time. I flex with my expensive cards for 5 seconds.
I get it.
See,
We're
Magic players.
Here's the thing.
We're simple like that.
I'm not going to flex with my expensive card. Ever. It's never going to see play, other than Proxy in my Commander deck. That's the only time it's ever going to see play, is in Proxy.
You're the Magic anomaly.
I'm literally going to have my card on my shelf until I die.
I mean, yeah, when I go actually play, like, it'll be like in a binder or something. It won't be in the deck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, like, throw down my Tabernacle and let somebody cut it or shuffle it for me.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Right. I imagine you are definitely like. I know when someone on the other side of the table has an expensive card in front of me, and I can't remember the text of it fully. I'm always the person that like asks and like have either they like shift it for me so I can look at it, or I like very gingerly pick it up. I bet you've had a lot of experience where you get like nervous if someone like comes in there just like straight up fingernail.
No, I smack their hand away.
Bitch.
Right?
Yeah, no,
Did
I
you
don't
touch
care.
my shit?
Yeah, that's my property. If you want it, if you want to see it, I'll let you see it. Just ask.
Yeah.
Right.
Having those high value cards would definitely like make me break a sweat if someone got that.
Unless I know the person extremely well, like if it's one of you two,
We're on the short list.
I usually ask before, if I can read the card.
Oh,
And then
we're on the
I'll
short
gi-
list
I'll
she doesn't
give
give a
them-
fuck about. That's what it is.
I'll give them the option of picking it up and handing it to me,
Bitch, please.
But I know you motherfuckers, and I know you ain't gonna play your high dollar cards against me, so.
I don't have any high dollar cards.
Exactly. Well, you have one.
You got one.
You have a Mox Diamond.
Yes.
You do.
That's a Gym 10. Yes, I understand. But that's on a shelf. That
Just throwing that out there every time. I'm just gonna casually drop it. It's a Gem 10.
Because it's one of 5. It's one
Just
of...
throwing your dick on the
Hey,
table
here's
over
the
here.
thing. Here's the thing. It's one of 5 in the whole world.
See, here we go again. Just
I can do that because I have one of 5 in the world.
This fucking guy.
Everyone else who has that card played it in their deck and have fucked it up.
Which one is this? Of how many?
I'm gonna let you, I just listen to 5 seconds back. You'll understand.
I just want to understand how many of this is it's
There's only like a handful of them.
okay.
And it's one of them.
And it's one of them.
Yeah.
Okay,
One
that's
of
all that
five.
matters. Just
Flopping that thing around. Just windmilling over here.
I'm just waiting
Windmill.
for it to hit
Windmill.
like $30,000 so I can sell it.
Shit.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you,
Right?
Matthew. We
I'll
got
buy
some
it.
rapid fire questions for you, real quick.
Let's do it.
Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Yeah.
He's from California. What do you expect?
What is the largest animal that you think you could take on in a fight?
You.
Yes.
No.
I'm in on this. Yes. Not what I was expecting. I got blindsided.
I would have said platypus.
What is a book or video game that you can play over and over again? I put book.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption. Okay, first
2.
one. 2. Okay.
Yeah, because there's so many different ways you can take that game, but it's always going to end up in the same scenario,
Yes.
sadly.
Okay, now, real question. Ancestral Recall or Lightning Bolt?
Lightning Bolt.
Yes!
Have to
Yes.
ask the real hard questions here to close this off.
That is the question.
Matthew, thank you so much for agreeing to join us for this mess of a podcast. Like we
3 schmucks with microphones.
Yeah.
this was a great time for us, and I hope it was for you. Matthew, please give us your socials and everything that you have to plug. Like, give
My social
it.
security number, it is 81... No, I'm kidding.
See, I was just thinking the same thing when he said that too. I was like, yeah, give me that social security number.
For anybody that's like trying to like, okay, 81, no, that's not how it starts. So don't even try.
They'll eventually get there.
It's a lot of different combinations. Probably find someone else before Matthew.
Well, he's guaranteed to find someone else before Matthew.
Yeah, facts.
But yes, where can we find you online? Like, plug everything and anything that you want.
I mean, Nerd Monthly, go follow up Nerd Monthly on Facebook. We have an Instagram and a TikTok now as well. We did the deed and we got TikTok.
Oh my. Went to the dark side.
I did go to the dark side.
Do we get to see a dance?
No, we don't need to do that.
Are there no
I'll-
TikTok dance?
For you guys, I'll get a stripper pole and put it up in my room. No,
Yes. Hit us up when that comes up. We'll do a live stream on this.
or to Nerd Monthly OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yes.
Extra money. Get that money.
You guys can find me on LinkedIn, just Matthew Robbins. I will be like the first person that comes up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nerd Monthly, bitches.
TM.
Well,
Yeah.
trademarked.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that was so good. Well,
This is Brittany, bitch.
Shit.
and with that, we close the podcast.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Good Luck High Five, episode 436.
That's right, you're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you are super excited to get back to an FNM or you're happy sitting at home jamming Arena, we are here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria,
And I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
and on today's show, we are talking about mechanics.
That's right, not mechanics that you take your car to, although I do always honestly need some tips on those. But no, we're going to look back at the mechanics that we have played
Yes.
since we started in Magic, and we're going to think about what makes a good mechanic.
Yeah, what makes it work?
Yes.
What makes it popular?
What makes it memorable? What makes it great for a format?
Yeah, and what makes it a real stinker if it doesn't work out?
because there have been some that you're just like, we were going back, we're like, That was a thing?
That existed, or
That happened?
forgettable, honestly.
Yes,
you know,
just wildly forgettable.
yeah.
So all of that and more coming at you this episode.
So yeah, it is a bit like an episode of Car Talk because
Yes.
we're talking about mechanics. So don't draft like my brother.
You know, don't draft like my brother.
We've been called the Click and Clack of Magic podcast.
Which is just my favorite.
With such a high honor.
Yes,
honestly.
it really, truly is.
But yeah, lots and lots of mechanic talk. Very excited for this. Also excited to tell you about our patron-only tournament that's coming up on the 19th of June.
That's right. It is so exciting. It's going to be 100 card standard.
Nice.
So not singleton. You can still have 4 copies of something. And people have asked about the ban list and stuff like that. We're still working out those
Yep.
things. Once we actually get the tournament up on Melee, we'll make sure that it comes with the ban list and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be a great time.
It was so fun, our last tournament. We want you to be here for this one. So if you can, become a patron over at patreon.com/GLHFmagic. Any amount of patronage gets you into our tournament.
That's right. It's a free tournament
It's
where
free.
you can win prizes.
Free and prizes. So the EV is through the roof.
Through the stinking roof.
And that's what Magic players care about.
That's right. Also, we're recording this episode on Wednesday because
Yes.
I'm heading out camping for the long weekend.
Yeah.
So if you became a patron in the last couple of days, don't worry. You'll get your shout out next episode.
Yeah, let's get a lot of new patrons so we can have a huge, super cool shout out on episode 347.
Yes.
And hopefully 2 people have the same name.
Yes, that's what we're really going for here is 2 patrons with the same name.
That's what's important to us.
yes.
But
Please.
thank you for helping us exist in the world, patrons.
Yes.
It's because of you.
It's also because of our other sponsor, Card Kingdom. CardKingdom.com/GLHF, the perfect place to go for all of your Magic needs.
Yeah, if you have friends who are new to the game, and honestly, I think Magic right now is growing bigger than ever before.
Yes.
Thanks to the pandemic and people, staying in and playing more board games, that kind of thing. But
Yep.
also the popularity just seems to be exploding.
What better way to get your friend who is reluctant about Magic when they shouldn't be into Magic than getting them some sweet stuff from Card Kingdom? Get them some boosters, get them a little deck box
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep their cards in. They're going to be hooked before you know it.
And honestly, we've bought their decks that are just single color beginner decks.
Yes.
That are super easy to play with. That's how Meg and I learned to play with single color decks.
Yes.
And Card Kingdom has constructed them for you. You don't have to do any of the work.
Yep.
You just got to give them, honestly, how much are they? Like $5?
They're not even.
Yeah, so they've got everything. I love their pre-constructed program. They've got
Yes.
the cool beginner decks, and then they've got pre-constructed decks that are just themed around cool things like +1/+1 counters, the graveyard, whatever you're into. Card Kingdom has it.
That's right.
All right, let's turn on that engine and hear a weird sound because we're going to diagnose what's a good mechanic, what's a bad mechanic, and what are some of our favorites and least favorite from the past few years.
So, Maria,
Yes.
what are some of your most memorable favorite mechanics?
I mean, of course, the first one that jumps to my mind is hexproof.
All right, Maria, you're banned from this conversation. I guess this rest of this episode's just gonna be me.
Well, I had to say it. I think that, honestly, if you're thinking about mechanics, I think hexproof is probably the #1 most talked about mechanic.
Wow.
Because I think it's the most universally hated.
It's pretty hated.
People do not like
Yeah.
it for reasons that are pretty obvious. Uninteractive. You can't do anything about it. You just got to sit there and then die.
Also, it comes at the intersection of what's a mechanic and what's a keyword.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
I never know.
I mean, it's a muddy sort of water
it's a muddy
situation.
street because some stuff like Scry started out as a mechanic for a set Theros.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, this is forever now.
This is evergreen.
Yep.
This goes on into infinity.
Forever. Hexproof is gonna die.
Hexproof, though, not going on
No,
into
it is
infinity
not.
forever.
They have decided no.
Because, it's such a
Not
negative
interactive.
reaction.
Yes.
But what is interesting about it is how they've been iterating on it over the past few years. It started out as something called Shroud. It changed into Hexproof. It changed into protection from green, black, white, whatever. And now it's changed into Ward.
That's right. So Ward is like a nice little twist on it where it's like, it's kind of
Sort of sometimes.
hexproof.
I mean, I think
You
Ward
can pay
is
more to make it not.
such a great compromise.
Yeah.
What I call the great compromise. In Magic the
wow.
Gathering. But let's be real. real. What is my actual? I mean, that is my
Yes.
most memorable one. What is my actual most favorite one? It's the answer I give all the time, which is Unleash.
Ooh, yes, you love Unleash.
Well, it's tied to a few specific factors for
Yes.
me. Nostalgia, of course,
Yeah.
which is such a strong force in Magic the Gathering. It's in the first set we ever played in 2012, which is Return to Ravnica. It's very simple and easy to understand. You can choose to put a +1/+1 counter on your creature with Unleash as it enters the battlefield, and if you do, it can't block.
Yeah,
But it's bigger.
straightforward.
And in Rakdos, which is where the mechanic lived, you didn't want to block anyway, you just want to smash face.
Yeah.
So I loved it. Simple, straightforward. It was emblematic of the play style, so it told you what to do when you were
Yeah.
trying to draft. You're like, oh, I do this and I attack. That's
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's great.
So it taught me the guild, and also I got to deal a lot of damage. So...
So for you, it's like it plays into your particular favorite
Yes.
style of play.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, one of the more simple mechanics.
Yeah.
How about you?
That's legit.
What's your all-time favorite?
Ooh, that's so hard. I think. Oh man, I think that oh my goodness, I'm gonna sneeze.
Everybody, hold on, it's happening.
Okay, no.
Nope, just kidding.
All right, made it through.
False start.
It's so hard, but I think it's probably the Morph / Foretell.
Yeah, I thought that's probably what you were going to say.
I think that, like, it's so hard for me to, if you were like, you must pick between Morph and Foretell, I'd be like, no, don't make me.
Megan, you must.
No, I don't want to. I would probably pick Foretell, I think, because it's a little bit more. It's one that's spell oriented. But there were creatures with Foretell on them.
Yeah, that's true.
They just aren't on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I think it works. It's like a little nice, like 2 is a nicer place to have that mitigation of like screw and flood than 3 is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like 2 is really the place where if you get stuck on 2, that's the spot where you're saying,
Yeah.
I'm mana screwed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think because this is one of the biggest things is it helps you when you're mana screwed. Like it's gonna help you it keeps games smoother.
Yes.
It keeps games from ending in a situation where it's like one person only had 3 lands ever and like, okay, they just died. They couldn't do anything.
So let's talk about what makes a good mechanic. This is bullet point number 1, I think.
Yes.
For sure.
It's like it just smooths the game.
It makes more non-games not happen.
Yes. So more games.
This is so strange, negative filled sentence. Yeah, it makes more actual games of Magic occur, which is something I think they've been more focused on recently, that their mechanics will support this goal.
Yeah.
Because that's, of course, the worst part about Magic is when you just can't play, right?
If you can't play, you're just like, this is a real
bummer. Yeah, what am I going to do? So I think mechanics that exemplify this for sure are Morph and Foretell. Because Morph lets you just pay 3 mana, put the creature face down on the battlefield, flip it up for its Morph cost once you can pay that. So